I would like to thank everybody for stopping back by another episode of the Raider Critique. And in this episode, we are going over the post-game review for the Kansas City Chiefs at the Oakland Raiders, Week 13 of the 2018 season. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. This game took me completely by surprise. I did not expect for the Raiders to actually compete in this game. I thought we were going to get absolutely blown out when it came down to it. But with the Chiefs missing Kareem Hunt, it was a real big factor because they did not have that explosive backfield like they had in the past. But Spencer Ware did come and fill in and did an exceptional job, along with, of course, their rookie quarterback Mahomes, who decided to run all over us and become the number one rusher this week. But in all aspects of this game, I don't have anything to be upset about. I literally don't. So what I would like to do is I'd like to hop over here into the stats. Just kind of go ahead and look at it and see exactly what we've got going on here. And, there's a lot of good to take away from all of this. Now remember, this is if not the number one team in the AFC, they're definitely top two. And we actually held our own and gave this team a run for their money. So let's go ahead and transition over to that. Pop this up over here. There we go. So here is a fun fact. This is probably the first time that we have actually done this all year. We scored 17 points to their 7 in the fourth quarter. Now, this is the first time all year that we've outscored anybody in the fourth quarter. Now, we did not come away with the W, but we came away with a lot of confidence at the end of this game because we were a dumpster fire before this week. So anyway, we're going to go overhead and go over the Chiefs stats first. Patrick Mahomes went 23 of 38 for 295 yards and 4 touchdowns. No interceptions. He was also their leading rusher with 9 carries, 52 yards, no touchdowns. He was averaging 5.8 yards a carry. Spencer Ware, like I said before, filled in nicely for Kareem Hunt, who was recently released. He had 14 carries for 47 yards with 1 touchdown, a 3.4 yard carry average. Now, that 1 touchdown that he got, our defense made a hell of a stand, and because of Spencer Ware's awareness, he was able to reach his arm, with the football over the goal line while we were pushing him back. He literally had to reach a little over a yard to get the ball across the plane. It was just really good awareness and a really smart move on his part. Really wish we would have hit the ball before it hit that plane. That would have been ideal, but hey, hats off to him. That's how they got the touchdown. I believe it was kind of lucky, but I was actually highly impressed with our defense on that series. Now, Damian Williams rushed the ball 5 times for 38 yards, 7.6 average. And Tyreek Hill, 2 carries for 37 yards with an 18.5 yard per carry average. Now, their leading wide receiver, of course, was their tight end. We cannot stop tight ends to save our life. And when you're going against, if not the number one tight end in the NFL, definitely in the top 3, Travis Kelce, 12 receptions for 168 yards, 2 touchdowns on 13 targets. That means that this guy was only missed once when he was thrown to. Demetrius Harris had 3 receptions for 39 yards, 1 touchdown on 6 targets. Demarcus Robinson had 1 reception for 38 yards, 1 target. Chris Conley, 3 receptions, 25 yards, 1 touchdown on 7 targets. We shut down Tyreek Hill. he only had 1 reception for 13 yards on 6 targets, so it wasn't like they weren't throwing him the football. Now, enough about them. Let's go over here to us. Derek Carr went 29 of 38 for 285 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. An exceptional game by Derek Carr. I believe that he is making his case not to be traded next season. Jalen Richard, I don't understand why we didn't give this guy the ball more. He had 6 carries for 95 yards, averaging 15.8 yards a carry. Instead, we gave the workload to Doug Martin. He had 18 carries for 61 yards, 1 touchdown, averaging 3.4 yards a carry, and a crucial fumble, might I add. Now, Jalen Richard also had a fumble, and DeAndre Washington also had a fumble. Derek Carr had a fumble. Shit, everybody who ran the ball had a fumble. So, ball handling skills need to be worked on next week, guys, because that was the reason why we lost this game. Jared Cook had 7 receptions for 100 yards, 1 touchdown on 8 targets. Now, like I was saying, if Travis Kelce isn't the number 1 tight end in the AFC, then Jared Cook probably is. Jordy Nelson look at Jordy Nelson's old ass showing up. 10 receptions for 97 yards on 11 targets. Now, he didn't have a touchdown, but 10 for 97, man, hey, that's good to see out of that guy, especially out of somebody that they were saying was actually retiring in the middle of the season, which happened to be fake news. Jalen Richard had 3 receptions for 31 yards, 4 targets. Seth Roberts, 3 receptions, 25 yards on 6 targets. Marcel Aitman had 2 receptions for 16 yards on 4 targets, and one of those happened to be an awesome touchdown catch in the front corner of the end zone. Dwayne Harris, 1 for 9. Doug Martin, 2 for 6. Lee Smith, 1 for 1. Now, here's that fumbles list we were talking about. Doug Martin had a fumble lost. Derek Carr had a fumble. DeAndre Washington had a fumble lost. And Jalen Richard had a fumble lost. We've got to stop all those turnovers because that's what really killed us in this game, man. Fadol Brown had a pass deflection. Garyon Conley had a pass deflection. P.J. Hall had a pass deflection. Tahir Whitehead had 7 tackles. Nicholas Morrow had 7 tackles. Darrell Worley had 4 tackles, 1 assist. Reggie Nelson had 3 tackles, 1 assist. Shalik Calhoun had 3 tackles, 2 assists. Man, Shalik Calhoun is definitely coming into his own, and he needs to be a part of this team moving forward. One of those tackles was for a loss. Frosty Rucker had 2 tackles, 2 assists. Rashawn Melvin had 2 tackles. Fadol Brown had 2 tackles with 1 tackle for a loss. Garyon Conley, 2 tackles, 2 assists. P.J. Hall had 2 tackles. Clint McDonald, 1-1. Marcus Gilchrist, 1-1. Jonathan Hankins, 1-1. Carl Joseph, 1-1. Nick Nelson, 1-1. And then you had Kyle Wilbur rounding it off with an assisted tackle, along with Maurice Hurst. Daniel Carlson, our field goal kicker, which I'm glad is actually on this football team, he went 2 for 2 on field goals. His long was 50, and he had 3 for 3 on extra points. The dude was great. Johnny Townsend, my ass to free agency, had 2 punts averaging 30.5 yards. His first punt was 22 yards. So now we'll go over here into team stats. That's why I was really just spitting all that out. Hurry up, get that done, because the team stats is what we really need to look at. Kansas City had 469 total yards. Oakland, 442. Passing yards, Kansas City had 295. Oakland, 271. Rushing yards, Kansas City, 174. Oakland, 171. Now, you see, all these are basically the same. Average yards per play, Kansas City, 6.9. Oakland, 6.4. Of course, we know the score, and then fumbles lost. This was the big one. We had 3 fumbles that we lost, and they only had 1. The turnover game really hurt us this time. We allowed 3 sacks, so Derek Carr still got hit 3 times. Or at least, well, the 3 times when he had the ball. Third down efficiency, they had 46%. Our third down efficiency was 75%. We also dominated in time of possession, and they even had more penalties than us. So when you think about it, this is how the score wound up. The Chiefs beat us 40-33, but there was a lot of good that came off of this game. Our football team actually looked like a football team. They actually looked like they knew how to play football, which is absolutely wonderful, especially knowing with what we've had to deal with and watch this season. This season has been absolutely horrendous, and I'm going to be honest with you. I, for one, even if we did lose, man, I'm happy. I'm extremely happy because this is the best game we've played all year. We've actually shown people and shown other teams that we can compete. We're not the laughingstock of the NFL, even though our record might say so. We just kept up with at least the second best team in the AFC. First best team in the AFC if you want to go by record. Now, Kansas City's defense is not all that great. We put up 33 points on them. But their offense is outstanding. And they put up 40 points on us, and I was expecting them to put up at least 50. So, from looking at what we've seen right now, if we can keep playing football games like this, then there is a bright future ahead of us. Absolutely. This team actually showed some tenacity. We didn't have to flip the football. We didn't have to flip the channel to a different football game to watch a different team show us how fundamental football is played. We actually got to watch a Raider game and see fundamental football played. It was an enjoyable game to watch. It was all the way, almost down to the wire. And Derek Carr has not thrown an interception in 7 weeks. He's definitely pleading his case not to be traded next season. Our offensive line gave up 3 sacks, but in all did an extremely well job giving Derek Carr time, letting the wide receivers get themselves open to where Derek Carr could find them. It is what it is. We're still taking the L, but at least we are showing that we can compete and that we can actually play fundamental football. And there isn't anything else that we could ask for. I wouldn't mind feeling like this every week, because at least I feel content. I can hold my head high and I can say, hey, we might have lost, but we didn't lose by much, and we lost to the best overall team in the AFC. It's a whole hell of a lot more than what I could say for the 49ers, who got blasted by the Seahawks today. So, I mean, it is what it is. We don't need to mess up our draft status as it is. But at least we can compete in these games and show people that, hey, maybe better times are ahead for us. They are. And all we have to do is be patient, sit back, and wait. Now, hopefully, the predictions I did 2 videos ago don't come true. Because I see a potential in this football team if we stick to the right course. And it's about damn time, too, because I was so sick and tired of watching us play like a Pop Warner football team. And today, we actually look like a professional NFL football team. Win, lose, or tie, man. It's Raiders until I die, regardless. But I would just rather see us lose with dignity than lose how we've been losing for most of the season. At least we lost with dignity today. We could actually hold our heads up. So anyway, this is the Raider Critique. I'm going to sign on out of here. I want to thank all the new subscribers and old subscribers for coming by and checking out the channel. I want to thank Mikey Raider and On Air Nation for all the shout outs and everything that he has done for me into helping me improve this channel. I want to shout out to all the other Raider bloggers that are out there doing their thing and doing basically everything that I'm doing here, and keeping the name out there for the team. And, much love and much support for all of y'all. And, I want to thank all the Raider Nation out there who comes and enjoys everybody's content out here on YouTube. Because without you guys, we wouldn't be here doing this. With our love and our passion and the fact that every one of you share it, that is good enough for a guy like me to keep coming on here and posting content. It's all for the love of the football team and for the love of people wanting to enjoy decent content. Now, I'm going to go ahead and sign on out of here, man. And like I said, as always, it's Raider Nation for life, and I will see you guys for the pregame of Week 14.